7. All right, welcome. Day 1 complete for most of you. Well, technically, you'll get up in the morning and it'll be over day 1 and starting day 2. So most of you experienced exactly what I told you would happen, right? Right around when you usually eat, you got hungry. Okay, so tonight's video, I am going to remind you of the benefits of fasting, and the reason I'm going to do that is because as we go through each day, I need to tell you when these things are actually occurring, so very important. Also, someone asked if I would do this, and it's very important, so I'm just going to do it right now before we get into this important message. I mentioned the fasting trio, and a few of you asked, how do you take it? And, you know, obviously, I think it's a benefit to so many people because it really down-regulates the inflammation oftentimes that you're getting because of the release of toxins, minimizes the redistribution of toxins. There's 3 products. I won't remind you what they do, but I'll just tell you how to take them. So the Bind product, that's the one that stays in the gut and minimizes the redistribution of toxins from the gut. That is taken about 4 pills before bed is the standard way of taking it. But during a fast, some people like to take 1 or 2 throughout the day, and it seems to help. So there you go. That's how you take the Bind. The Fast Tonic, typically taken 2 to 4 on a fast. I like to take 4, maybe 2 twice a day, anytime, will help with the downregulation of the oxidative stress. And lastly is the Cyto Detox. Typically it's taken 1 milliliter 3 times a day. There you go. That's how you take the fasting trio. So that was a request, so I wanted to make sure I got it right off of the bat for you. And Suzette, that was one of your requests via email, one of my clients. So I'm glad I could do that for you all. But before I get into some of the details of what's happening or what's going to happen tomorrow, because I'm going to talk about that too and the benefits of fasting, we, again, spending time praying for you this morning. You know, God gives me these things, and Marilee as well. So this is something I shared with my group at my seminar, my last seminar. And again, reminder, the first time ever, the public, you all, can come to my seminar and even join us on live stream. I'll hopefully have my team, but you know what, I have a video on that. It says big announcement. Go watch that video, and there's a link there. If you want to join us, either live stream or, gosh, I would love to meet you all in person. And that's March 30th, Saturday. All day you can join some of the best speakers, scientists on these topics in the world. Gentlemen from the Netherlands, talking about some diet variation principles from ancient cultures. Amazing stuff. Dominic D'Agostino, top scientist on ketosis, doing the research for the Defense Department. You're going to see all these guys. So anyways, this is some of the stuff that God gave me. This builds off of what I told you yesterday, and I said God gave me basically a message of planting seeds during the fast, and the fact that we are in a weakened state. But I want you to reframe it from a weakened state to a state that God needs us in to actually make us much stronger, and really in a position where we can hear from Him very differently when we're in this deprived state. And then I found this, so read this, and it ends with a place in Corinthians, but go ahead.
Yeah, and I think too, just knowing that, you know, we talk about you're trusting, right? You're trusting in a process, whether you're trusting in God because you have a heart for what He wants for your life, or whether you're trusting in a physical process that's going to enable you to basically restore. And I think that's the theme. This trust is a belief. It's an action verb, and again, whether you're coming at this as a Christian or from a spiritual perspective, or whether you're coming at it from knowing that something is going to be happening because you trust it and you believe it. Therefore, you have to believe if you trust, and you have to take a step of faith in doing that. So whatever the point or the plan is, this is going to be the result. And by the way, even though we are not fasting right now, and we did this 2 weeks ago, we still are not just praying with you and believing God and in this process for you, but we are on the heels of this for ourselves as well. And so corporately, as we're joining with you, we too are expecting God to move. As Danny always says, God moves oftentimes after a fast.
Yes.
And so I mean, please pray for us. I mean, I really, something I was thinking about today, and it's so relevant and it's so true as we stand up here and we lead this process and join with you and align our hearts and our intention with you. Like, we go through a lot of stuff, and you know, we need your prayers. We need that hedge of protection. And people always say, you know, where's your church and who are your people and who's protecting you? Well, you know what? You are. Like, our life is virtual, and sometimes I think when we're home and you know, we have our people and our posse and our tribe that we love hanging with, but like, we really don't have a corporate like veil that surrounds us and protects us. We rely on God obviously completely, but we really are, I'm going to step out and say, please pray for us, and surround us and support us, and know that we love doing this. We love being with you, and we love what God does through it, and he calls us to that. We just have this passion in us, but we really absolutely need that from you. So please. And so anyway, I just really feel this trust thing is so significant.
Plant the seeds and trust.
It's such a theme, and with that is the belief. It's the action that you must take that step of faith in doing, and just knowing that there's some really cool stuff that happens, and that restoration is the end result. But it doesn't necessarily happen right now. And for us, you know, 4 fasts later, and we still are praying for a lot of the same things. 4 fasts later
with you all as a group, yeah.
And so please, it's just exciting, and we thank you that you join with us. And and Remy's scratching at my legs because she knows that this is a big deal too. But anyway, so thank you so much. We love you. We love doing this with you, and just excited for what God is up to within it. Yeah.
This is who's causing trouble. Read that for me.
Fasting brings us into a closer union with God, while our bodies are being deprived for the purpose of drawing near to God. He has promised in return to draw near to us. That's
important. He has promised in return. This is from a biblical scholar, by the way.
And this is a spiritual certainty. So we can know that with confidence, that he is with us. As we decrease, the spirit within us increases. The individuals that we are as individuals, we are strengthened and renewed. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. 2 Corinthians 4:16.
Yeah, I mean, that was my point yesterday. I didn't even have that scripture there to make. However, that was the point I was making, is, you know, we are becoming weaker actually physically in so many ways, but technically actually we're becoming spiritually, emotionally, and really even physically stronger. And as I explained, the body's getting rid of the bad and recreating new. There's a renewal that's going on in you during a fast. It's powerful. I'm telling you, it's so hard to even capture, but so much so. And I said this yesterday's video, and if you haven't watched it, please watch it, because this builds on it. You know, it's every religion agrees on this, right? I mean, this is how powerful of a principle it is. This is the oldest, you know, therapeutic modality in all of human history, and yet it transforms us mentally, spiritually, and physically. It really does. There's nothing like it. You know, this was something that I had said I shared with my doctors at my seminar, and it's a powerful thing because, you know, when you look at biblically, you know, God brings all of the people that really changed history, you know, for his kingdom and beyond. Really, he broke them. They all were broken before they could serve in an amazing way. And this little piece talks about it. Wasn't until Gideon's 300 specially chosen soldiers broke the jars that were in their hand. That's from Judges 7:19, which symbolized the brokenness in their lives, that hid the light of the torches that shine forth, bringing terror to their enemies. It was once the poor widow who broke the seal of her only remaining jar of oil and began to pour it, that God miraculously multiplied it to pay her debts, and thereby supplying her means and support. And it goes on. It goes on talking about, you know, one broken person after another. It talks about how Abraham had to be broken. It talks about how Mary had to break the alabaster. You know, but again, this gives probably 5 or 6 examples of how we need to be broken in order to serve at a different level. I would say it again, we need to be broken to be healed. We need to be broken to be used by God. We need to be broken even oftentimes to hear the things that God is trying to speak to us. You ever be, driving down the road, there's just enough distraction that you're able to start getting a different idea or a breakthrough, whether it's driving or something that distracts your conscious mind, just enough that you're able to tap into the unconscious mind. Fasting does that on every aspect, meaning that you become so weakened in this state, and it just taps us into a state in our subconscious that we're not able really to get in on a daily basis, no matter how hard you try. It's literally forced meditation, it really is. And then you're able to hear from God. But again, from a broken standpoint, as we humans feel weaker during a fast, it really is what you need to become stronger physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I think that when I read these examples, and you should see what's written in this book. And by the way, I should really give you the name because I'll probably get ideas out of it. It's Streams in the Desert, and L.B. Cowman is the author. But I think since 2007, I have been just doodling things in this book and getting downloads from God. So you'll probably see this little blue book. One time I lost it. Remember Simon found it somewhere?
I remember.
Yeah, I was devastated because I knew it had so many things. But you wouldn't believe what I have written around that because I was broken at this time. Physically.
For years.
Yeah, physically I was broken. Emotionally I was broken. And I see in those things
financially?
Financially I was completely broken. 2009, 2010, 2011, I wrote some hard things in here. But the point is we are the people we are. I'm the man I am. She is the woman she is today because of the brokenness that we've been through. Fasting gives you a taste of that we can do to not only be broken for the moment, but allow us to basically rebuild from the inside out. So,
from pain to purpose to promise.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, it goes right into, I'm going to remind you of the physical benefits, which, and again, I'm not going to belabor them, but number one about a fast is this autophagy. It's brokenness. Your body literally starts eating its bad tissues to survive. Literally. It's a survival mechanism. The best part is this exact symbolism that I'm talking about. Guess what happens on the backside of eating all the bad cells that cause cancer, eating the bad immune cells that cause hyperimmunity, food allergies, inflammation, I don't feel well, hormone problems. All those bad cells get eaten up first. The body's that smart. It's called autophagy. And the Nobel Prize 2016 was won by this discovery. But what we know now is the body then builds up stem cells that recreate you from the inside out. You're literally reborn in so many ways. Your immune system downregulated. And so many of these benefits that we get from fasting are because, number one, the autophagy, and then number two, the stem cells. So there's benefit one and benefit two. The downregulation of the bad immune system, the hyperimmunity, the upregulation of the good immune system, the immune system that makes us stronger and better. And all that takes place. By the way, because those of you who have been doing this from basically 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, we've been stepping out, becoming fat adapted. All of this, you're actually already today getting autophagy occurring in your body. Now, if you didn't prepare for the fast, most likely you're not getting very much of that. But if you did, you're actually already in a state of autophagy. Your body's already basically feasting from the bad, and it's going to start recreating the new. Not quite yet. I'll let you know when that happens. Okay, and then another big benefit is start looking at your ketone levels, because when you read studies on how ketones fix the brain and help the gut and all these amazing things, turn off bad genes that have turned on, it's really high levels of ketones. Well, you don't really get that when you go into a diet type of ketosis as much as you do in a fasting state. So many of you may be in the 3s and 4s, even today. Some of you don't get discouraged. It may take you longer, but the point is you're already hitting these really healing ketone levels. That's another benefit. And you know this one's my favorite, energy diversion, where your body takes energy that it would normally take to process food, and it starts going, okay, what am I going to do with this extra energy? It doesn't sit around watching TV. It starts to dial it into all these things that need healing. Your body knows everything that needs healing. It's so cool, right? it will take that energy, all of a sudden it has it, and it's like having time off work, and your wife has this list that that you're never able to get to, and now you're like, okay, I'm going to get to the list, and you like clear.
Can't hire a handyman.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what that's the cool thing about this energy.
Actually, you can. That's when you pray.
Yeah, absolutely. So your body this energy diversion will divert the energy and start, healing other things. And then your microbiome starts resetting. Your bacterias are just starting to change, reset themselves, and the bad guys are dropping. Even the good guys are starting to drop, but you're resetting that microbiome. And this is one of my favorite benefits. It's called hormone optimization. Even now, day one, especially if you prepared for this, like you should have been watching the videos, your cells are getting more sensitive to the hormones. That's the key to fixing your hormones, is the cells hearing them. And I'll build on that concept as we go along in the fast. But when the cells can hear your hormones, now you just feel good. You burn fat more efficiently. The problem with why people don't feel well today, it's really because your cells don't hear your hormones. It doesn't hear your testosterone, your estrogen, and whatever hormone it is, and your cells are struggling even to communicate. That's in essence why people don't feel well or can't get well. So we're already more sensitive to the hormones. Really cool. Also, day one, we see an upregulation of growth hormone starting to happen. That's going to start to happen more so day 2 and day 3. But for some of you, it's already starting. That's a really good thing because that helps you anti-age. It helps you heal at a deeper level. So all of these hormones that we need to heal are actually starting to rise up. Really cool, right? So these are, just like I said, some of the benefits of fasting, and of course there's more, but we'll explore as we go on each day to what's happening. Okay, so what's going to happen tomorrow, make sure I don't forget anything, day 2 of a fast. How was your day 2 of your fast?
Actually, this fast was my best fast.
Yeah.
I wasn't as cranky.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah,
we were
she was
going.
all hangry, you know what I'm saying?
Because I'm super sociable. We've been traveling so much that I was actually really happy to be home, and it was a perfect time, and I knew we were going away, and I was looking forward to the trip, and so I think I'm going to fast all the time whenever we're about to leave town.
It was great.
It was good.
But yeah, I mean,
and don't get
2
impatient. Day 2 is you are usually more hungry. You're more distracted by
More
being
hangry.
hungry. and I would just say don't get impatient, or you're going to be distracted, but just hang in there and remember that even in the fast, as you're saying, even still, even 5 days later, even 3 fasts later, just be committed to the lifestyle of fasting, because it is going to continue to improve. And just like all things that we value in life, we have to work at them. It doesn't just happen because, I fasted and now I deserve some kind of credit and, that's good on me. But it's not like that. It's really a commitment and a lifestyle, as with all things, especially if you're connected to the spiritual benefits as well as the physical. You really have to show God that you are committed.
Yeah.
And that's where he meets us and just honors our efforts. And it isn't just a segment of time one time. It is a commitment to a lifestyle of practice that is good for you, and you're going to reap those rewards. Every
fast you get better, more efficient, and more healing from inside out in every aspect, honestly. So, but day 2, you're going to be more hangry, honestly. You'll definitely, be transitioning your glucose. Here's what's going to start to happen day 2. You will have less energy. So it goes beyond just being hangry. You're hangry because you have less energy, probably. And you get a little brain fog, right? And that makes you hangry too. Glucose is dropping. Ketones are rising. However, you're not using them yet. And so you're not quite keto adapted. Even if you prepared, many of you, to this point, your brain still doesn't want to switch over from glucose to these things called ketones. So your brain's just not quite, snapping yet. So, you might be a little fat adapted, but you're not ketone adapted yet. So that's going to probably take place day 3, and for some of you, day 4. But there's a transition on day 2 that's happening for most of you. Glucose is low, therefore energy is low. Brain energy is a little low. Creates a little moodiness. Stay away from humans. Keep yourself even extra busy. Definitely go to a movie if you can. Do something, plan something, make it your busiest day. That's what I like about starting on Sundays, because day 2 is Monday.
Totally.
Yeah,
and you're busy.
And you're busy, right? Day 2, day 3. Because I think, most of us, because we prepared, we can do one day. Day 2 being
and
on Mondays.
conserve your
good.
energy. I
Yes.
think that is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one thing that I really noticed this time too, is my glucose was never really high. And that is why the transition was so much easier. So if you don't do too much and you pay attention to that, and of course, you know, repeated fasts, you just keep getting more efficient
True.
and transition more easily. And I think that is a enormous reason why
Yeah.
you want to do that, because it just really, when you are balanced, all is better.
Yeah.
Just
No
right?
doubt about it.
Homeostasis is a good thing always.
But listen, now just to close this up here very quickly, you know, you've written down, hopefully, your expectations, the things you're asking for, the things you want to hear, the breakthroughs you need for yourself, loved ones, whatever it is, people you're praying for. Every day, review it. Every day, you know, plant the seeds and expect and trust that those things will happen. They will.
They will.
You know, and the brokenness that you're feeling, remember, transition it. The brokenness is strength. It's making you better. It's making you stronger. That's really important. Mindset is everything. So if you perceive that weakness as strength, and we just showed you that in scripture, I'm telling you in experience, it will transform your fast. It really will.
Trust.
Your results. So trust. We'll see you tomorrow.
Belief, restoration.
Around the same time, Mountain Time. We'll see you then.
See you guys.
And
Have a
that'll
good
be
night.
day 2 done.